Hello, everybody. I'm Shie Boon. I am from Move Academy, Singapore. And today, I'm going to introduce to you the fundamentals of parkour. So what is parkour? Parkour is a way to navigate your environment in a very agile way, just like how our ancestors used to do so. When you see little children playing in the playground, essentially that is parkour. Okay. Whereas as adults, we tend to lose that tendency to navigate our environment and to play and just to be in awareness of our bodies. We sit in our workplaces for way too long and our bodies become rigid and stiff. And in some sense, we have to learn from the children. And thankfully, we have parkour. And in some sense, it is not new either. The human animal, if we will call it, has been moving for generations and thousands of years. But as of now, we have managed to describe or we give it a term and we call this parkour. And so what does parkour consist of? It consists of all kinds of movements, such as running, climbing, jumping, crawling. And in this particular segment today, we don't have much time, so it's just about 1 hour, slightly lesser. I'm just going to introduce to you guys the mentality behind the discipline, and also hopefully impart and inspire a curiosity to your own body, and a bigger love for movement and the human ability. And also, parkour has helped many people in my academy, especially the seniors around age 50 or so, to learn how to fall safely. Because in parkour, there's an aspect of going into the ground, rolling, and being able to take impact. And so that is one thing that I will be mainly covering today, just to teach you how to fall safely, because it is a lifelong skill that will be very useful. Beside me is my mother. This is Kim. She has been practicing parkour with me for about 3 years, almost coming to 4. And today she's going to be here with us, doing the movements together. Okay? And she's 62 years old. She looks like my sister. So if she can do it, so can you. Okay? Great. Any questions you might have, you can always put it in the Q&A segment, and I'll be happy to answer all of them later after the session. And later on as well, you might be experiencing a lot of different types of movements that you might not be familiar with, and that is totally normal, okay? Because parkour is very different from the conventional methods of fitness, okay? But I'm pretty sure you enjoy it, and you might even think, this is so weird, but I'm positive that you will enjoy it. Okay. One thing to take note of is to stay safe. If there's anything that you feel uncomfortable with, just don't do it, okay? Listen to yourself, listen to your body. So you can see on Kim's t-shirt, it reads one of the values of parkour. It says, be strong to be useful. And one thing that I really like about parkour is its value-driven attitude. And being strong to be useful is basically getting stronger so you can be useful to the people around you. On top of that, there are 2 more values. The other one is, we start together, we finish together. And parkour has an emphasis on togetherness and overcoming obstacles together. And the last value, which is called to be and to last, is a very important value to hold on to. It's something close to my heart as well. At first, I couldn't really understand it, but through time in my practice, I get to understand it better. So to be and to last basically means longevity. Using and being in tune with your common sense, and in some ways, not making stupid decisions. Because as you probably know, parkour is a discipline that is quite, it has a lot of impressions around it. And a lot of people might think parkour is a pretty dangerous thing to do. And today, I'm going to show you a different perspective. I'm going to show you the foundations of parkour and why it does not need to be seen that way, because it is about how you practice it rather than what you practice. Okay, and just a brief introduction to Move Academy Singapore. The founders of parkour are from France. They came from France to Singapore in 2012 to start this school. I was a student of this school before I became the director today. And parkour has changed my life for the better. Without further ado, we're going to begin. Okay? So we're going to start off simple. We're going to start off with just moving your head, okay, side to side. Take this time to be aware of how you're breathing. Okay. Just go through your body slowly from head to toe. I want you to take slow and deep breaths all the way down to the bottom of your tummy, or the bottom of your lungs. Okay, we're going to shift to up and down. When you look up, I want you to stretch your chin to the ceiling. Try to reach upwards with your ceiling, with your chin. Sorry. Reach out with your chin to the ceiling and down. Okay, now we're going to go for full circles. So over here, look over your shoulder before you come back down. Look over your other shoulder before you go back up. Just one last round and change directions. Okay, nice. Now this is going to be a little bit weird, but I want you to move your jaw, okay? I read somewhere that this helps you have a younger face. Okay, so we're just going to go, just open your jaw, and close, and just repeat this. Okay, one last one. All right, now we're going to move the lower jaw, just side to side. Okay, nice. Now let's make some funny shapes with your mouth. Now you're eating something really big and it's hard to chew. Okay, good. So as I said just now, parkour is quite, wait, did I say it? No, okay, I didn't say it, but parkour is very much about play, okay? There's a lot of play involved in it. You want to play with your body, play with the environment. Okay, now we're going to add in the neck movements together with the jaw movements, okay? And in this sense, you can feel different stretches on your neck, okay, as you move your jaw and your neck around. And slowly start to incorporate the shoulders into the movement. Okay, you can stop chewing on a giant fish ball. Move your shoulders in big circles. Okay, yes, and you can probably see I'm starting to move my toes as well. I want you guys to also do that. Move your toes and try to articulate, kind of like this with your toes. Okay, possible. And yeah, toes are pretty important. Okay, good. Okay, let's go for some elbow movement as well. So face your palms up, bring it in. Face your palms out, bring it down. Face your palms up, bring it in, face your palms out, bring it down. Okay, last one, simple. All right, let's go for big circles, the arms. If possible, try to keep your elbows straight and change directions, going backwards. Okay, now just some wrist movement. So hold your hand with your other hand. Then just rotate your wrist. Okay. And we'll do the same for the other side. Okay, now we're going to do some scapular movement. So I'll show a side view, all right? You're going to bring your shoulders up to your ears and then push your shoulders forward, bring it down, and then push it backwards. Up, forward, down, back. Up, forward, down, back. Last one, forward, down, back. Okay, nice. Now we're going to move the spine. Okay, so for the spine, I just want you to curl your spine up like that and then open up. Close and open. Close, open, close, open. Okay, good. Now put your arm out. We're going to go for shoulder rotations. Okay, so we're just going to go a big circle all the way until it's behind you and you can actually scratch your back like here, like so. Okay, and then from here, just reverse the direction and it comes back forward. We'll repeat for 5 more times. Try to go for the biggest range of motion that you have. Basically, the biggest circle that you can draw. All right, last one. Change to your other hand. Last one. Okay, nice. Okay, now we're going to move down. So we have done neck, we have done shoulders, we have done spine, we have done elbows and wrists. We're going to move to the hips. Okay, so depending on your ability level, you might want to hold onto something. Okay, if you need to hold onto something for balance, please go ahead. You can hold on a chair, a table, a wall. Make yourself comfortable. Okay, so what we're going to do is basically to rotate the hips. Okay, or just move your leg in a circle. Move your knee in a circle. Okay. And other side. Good. We're going to change back to the first leg, but we're going to go from back to front this time. Okay, other side. And last one. Okay, we're going to move down to the knees and the ankles now. Okay, so for knees, I just want you to do small bounces as a start. Just 3 more. Okay, nice. We're going to repeat the same, standing on one leg, okay? Small bounces. Okay, other side. Three more. And we're done. Okay. So if you notice, we are just covering the top part of the range of motion in your knee. But we can actually go all the way in. So we're going to go all the way in now. Okay. So just take a split stance like this. Okay. And we're just going to slowly go a little bit lower. Okay. And then come back up. Take your time. If you don't feel comfortable going all the way down, just don't. Okay. For those of you who find this easy, you can try to go super slow and maybe don't even come back up. You can just stay here and you can just basically hover around this area. Okay? Yeah. But for those of you who need more rest and you think that that's too difficult, you just go all the way up, go all the way down, go all the way up, go all the way down. Okay, we'll do one last one and then we'll switch. Okay, switch and repeat. Okay, last one. And we're done. Okay, nice. Anchors. So for anchors, we're going to start with raising all your toes up. Okay, this is the fun part. I want you to try to touch just your last toe to the ground. Okay? I don't know whether the camera can see it, but you want to just touch your last toe to the ground. Okay, just a few more times. All right, now we'll put all toes down and we'll bring just the big toe up. Okay? Can see? Okay, all toes down, big toe up. 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 Okay, we'll do just one last one. And then now we'll have 4 toes up and then big toe up. 4 toes up, big toe up. Okay, just one last time. And we're done. All right, we're going to try to balance on our heels now. Okay, so let's just walk on our heels on the spot. We can try to turn one circle. Okay, and then other side. Okay, good. Now we're going to roll your ankles side to side. So all these ankle movements are good to strengthen your ankles, which can help with reducing ankle sprains, or at least when you actually sprain your ankle, it hopefully wouldn't be too bad because you have built some strength in, I guess, weird angles. Okay, when we wear tight shoes throughout the day and we walk on flat surfaces for most of our lives because we live in modern society, we don't get the kind of articulation that our ankle is capable of. And over time, we lose the ability because we don't practice it. Okay, so there's this term that is I think it's very important. It goes like use it or lose it. Use it or lose it. Basically, what you use, you keep for your life, and if you don't use it, your body just kind of throws it away because it tries to conserve energy. Just think about astronauts who go to space, and then when they come back, they lose their bone density, they lose their muscle mass, because in space you're in zero gravity and there's no force acting on your body, and so you lose the abilities. Okay? It's the same thing. So luckily we're on Earth and there's gravity, so make sure that you use your body and move on a daily basis if possible. So we're going to go for some tiptoes. Okay, so we just go for a high tiptoe. Try to be as high as you can. Right? And then come back down. Do a little kind of like bring your butt back and balance on your heels for a bit before you go back up again. Last one. Okay, nice. We're going to add an arm swing to it. So just bring your arms back and tiptoe, bring your arms up. Bring your arms back. Tiptoe, bring your arms up. Bring your arms back. Tiptoe, bring your arms up. Last one. Okay, nice. Now, I want you to squat. Bring your arms back and stand. Bring your arms in front. So, if you might notice, we are slowly going into jumps. Okay, this is the jumping pattern of our bodies. If I put in a little bit more speed, I'm going to lift off, basically. So we're just going to try that. You can try putting a little bit more speed, a little bit more energy in your arms. And most importantly, you want to have gentle movement. Land softly on the ground so that you're using your muscles instead of your bones to move. I mean, take the impact. Last one. Okay, nice, good. All right, we're going to slowly get to the floor, okay? So let's go down. And we're going to put your hands on the floor. we're going to start to learn how to take a little bit more weight on our hands. Okay? So what you want to do is to bring your weight forward and backwards. Okay, now we're going to take our knees off and then put your knees down softly and just repeat this. Okay, now knees off, straighten your knees, and then bend your knees, knees down. Just one last one. Okay, nice. Let's sit down. Okay. Now we're going to go for some rows. Okay, rows are one of the fundamental aspects of parkour. Okay, being able to distribute your weight from side to side, basically. Okay, so what I want you to do now is to just try this challenge. Okay, so you start from a sitting down position and try to get up with just one hand helping you. Okay. And then you repeat this motion by going back down. And then you try with your other hand. And repeat. Okay, good. So we're going to try doing it with no hands, without hands. Okay, just with your leg. This may be impossible for some of you today. And if that's impossible, just use your hands. Totally fine. But for those of you who want a higher challenge, you can try, okay, just navigating with your feet into a standing position. Okay, same thing, going back down. Let's do last one. Okay, good. Now we're going to lie down on the floor, all right? So exact same thing, except that you don't sit down anymore. Okay? We're going to slowly lie on the ground, all right? So in this position, I'm tucking my chin to my chest because I do not want my head to hit the floor. And this is a good habit to build, especially when you are older, because the neck muscles get weaker. And you want to maintain this ability so that when you actually fall at some point of your life, you want to have the muscles and the strength to keep your chin up to protect your head from hitting the ground. Okay? So from a position of lying down, you just get back up into standing without your hands if you want, or you can use your hands to help you. That's fine as well. Okay? Back to lying down, and then back up. And what's important here is to find a smooth curvature throughout your body. which means you don't want to have multiple impacts. So for example, if I put my hand down like this, and there's a sound, you can hear the sound, okay? And then you sit, you can hear like an impact. Then you go down, you can hear that sound. All this is, I would say, not very helpful habits to keep you safe, okay, when you actually fall. What you want to find is a curvature throughout your body. You want to be like a smooth ball, okay, not like a rock that has many edges. So try to find smooth surfaces to go onto and not make a sound if possible. Okay? Everything is quite silent and gentle. All right, for the last challenge, we're going to try to do the same thing with your eyes closed. Okay, so close your eyes if you feel like it. If you don't feel like it, just keep your eyes open. Okay, navigate slowly. Remember where the environment is. Remember your limbs, where they are in space. Remember how you get to the ground. Remember the curvature that you have formed just now. Just do this for maybe 3 more times. How's mom doing? Okay, last one. Okay, nice. So we're going to play with a little bit of shifting off balance now. Okay, so just to explain a little bit more, parkour is not just about falling. Usually we have obstacles, or we go and practice in an environment which has structures of different heights. Okay, maybe a certain wall up to my hip, maybe up to my head, or even higher, or rails, and just things that you see in your day-to-day HDB environment. Okay, and not just a flat ground like this. But fortunately or unfortunately, maybe we only have a flat ground today. And so I'm showing you movements and exercises that you can practice on a flat ground. And you find flat ground everywhere. Okay, so hopefully you might be inspired to try these movements at your own time. But yeah, if you are looking for more stuff to do, you can always try to do more. Okay, let's go back down, sitting. Okay, and what we're going to try to do now is to shift your weight side to side a little bit more. Okay, so I want you all to start to roll. Okay, into like a crawling position. Okay. So now you're using more of your hands. Okay, good. So this watching TV position is a good position to roll from one butt cheek to your other butt cheek. Okay, and we'll start from the top. We'll go down, roll on the ground, and come back up. Okay, I prepare my hands, aim for the ground, sit down, turn around, and then come back up. So when you do this movement, it should feel smooth. It should feel gentle on yourself. You shouldn't be hitting yourself everywhere. Okay, if need be, you go slower. Okay, nice. Now we're going to play with a little bit more going off balance. Okay, so we start off just moving your weight side to side and balancing off on one foot. Now we're going to lose our balance and step off. Balance on one foot, lose your balance and step off. Go slow and be careful of the environment around you, especially when you are in an enclosed area. Okay, good. Let's try front and back motions. Okay, front and back. You fall a bit forward, just catch yourself. You fall a little bit backwards, just catch yourself. Okay, last one. Okay, nice. So I think you probably know what's coming next. We're going to add the weight shift into rolling on the ground. Okay. So as I mentioned just now, this is not, in this session, we only have that much time. And the main thing I hope to cover today is to teach you at least a little bit on how to fall safely. Okay. Because I think it's an important life skill to have. Okay. So we're going to start off with a weight shift. Okay. Let's start off with sideways first. So sideways, you're going to step, put your hands down, sit down, and then transfer your weight from butt cheek to butt cheek and stand back up. I'm going to repeat on the other side. I'm going to lose my balance on the side, take a few steps, put the hand down, sit on the butt, rotate to the other side, and stand back up. Okay, nice. Let's just do this a few more times. Lose balance. Take the first few steps on the legs because the legs are strong. You want to use your dominant strength first before you put the hands down. Okay. Sit down. And why we bring our hips down is because the hips is our heaviest part of our body. Okay. And we want to bring that mass down to the floor as soon as possible. Okay. A few more times. Last one. Okay, nice. Right, now we're going to try front and back. Okay, so we try forward first. Forward is quite straightforward. Okay, so forward, hands down. Okay, and then again, same thing. But let's not roll. Let's just try to absorb your impact with your hands. Let's see how strong your hands are. Okay. So first thing first, I do not want any of you to do something like this. Okay. We're not going to slam our hands on the floor. We're going to try to put our hands down softly. And how do you do it softly? You need to engage your muscles and believe that your hands can take your weight. And of course, don't give yourself something impossible to do. Okay. Because let's start by being on our knees, okay? I'm just going to shift our weight forward and catch with the hands. And you'll notice that my elbows are bent, okay? This is what I mean by using your muscles, okay? Push yourself off. Let's just repeat this a few times, okay? forward, and push yourself off. Okay. Last one. All right, let's try standing. Okay, so fall forward using your legs to take the first impact, hands absorb. Okay, and that's it. Be careful of this knee hitting the ground. All right, you want to not let it hit the ground. Bring yourself back. Same thing, falling forward, step, hands. Okay, we just repeat this a few times. Try to use your other leg. Last one. Okay, nice, good. Let's go to the ground, okay? Falling forward, put the leg down, put the hands down, put the hips down, bring your shoulders down. And then just reverse the whole thing. Remember to tuck the chin in your chest. Okay, one last one. Nice. We have one last thing to cover, which is falling backwards. Okay, so backwards, there are two ways to fall. The first one is to turn around, and then you revert back to forward, which is what we have practiced just now. Okay, so falling backwards, turn around, same thing as just now. Okay, so let's just try that a few times first. Falling backwards, turn around, leg, hands, butt to the ground. Okay. One last time. Okay, and we're done. The second method of falling backwards is to not turn around. And this is slightly harder. So, falling backwards, catch with the legs, squat down, put your hand down, and then sit down and roll back. Okay? I'll do it one more time. Falling backwards, catch with the legs, slowly squat down, put your hand down, sit down. Okay? So, this is something that is quite important to cover, which is where do you put your hand? Okay? I think there are certain cases when you actually fall backwards, you end up spraining your hand or fracturing your wrist. Okay, so I want you all to learn something today, which is to point your fingers forward when you fall backwards. And this could potentially save you from fracturing your wrist when you actually fall backwards. Okay, because when most people fall backwards, the instinct is to do this. Okay, and see what happens. I get stuck here and I cannot really bend my elbows. It gets a little bit awkward there, okay, because I'm stuck like this. So what you want to do is to point the fingers forward so that you can actually bend comfortably. All right. So when you fall backwards, you catch yourself. You kind of put your hands down with your fingers pointing forward, and then you push into the ground. Okay, and then you lie back. It's kind of like how basketball players slide back. So if I do a faster version of it, okay, something like this. One more time. You don't have to do it if you're not comfortable. Okay, like this. Important thing is you must be able to bend your elbows, otherwise you get stuck and something pops. And that's not what you want. Okay, nice. I think I'll just cover one last portion, which is the conditioning segment of parkour, for just the last 2 minutes before we move on to Q&A. Okay. This is an important segment because when you see parkour practitioners on YouTube jumping from high places to another high place, it's easy to have the impression that they are doing something reckless and silly. But what I want you to understand is that some of these people have probably practiced for a very, very long time. Okay. And they have practiced for many years, and they have done a lot of body conditioning for them to be able to take very strenuous impacts. Okay, so not everything on the screen is what it seems like. You need to understand what goes on in how they practice the approach. So we're going to start off with crawling. Okay, we're just going to go forward crawling. Okay, this motion you can basically practice it very, very in most places that you are when you travel. Okay, you can practice it in the hotel room. You just need a flat ground, some space, and you can practice. Okay, this is a fantastic way to warm up your body and to build full body strength. And believe me, if you do this for 1 hour straight, it's going to be quite a good workout as well. Let's try to flip around. We're going to do this kind of crawl now. Okay, and this is a good opportunity to build the habit of pointing your fingers slightly forward. It doesn't have to be all the way forward. It can be more towards the side, especially for those of you who are experiencing some discomfort in your wrist. You can feel free to point your fingers out. Okay, as long as you can bend your elbows comfortably. Okay, switch around. You can also try crawling backwards like this. This is more dominant on stressing the upper body, okay, which is good to build that strength there. Backwards here. And then let's get up. Let's add a falling drill, roll, and then we crawl. And then we go backwards. So this is the part where we play. After we learn a few techniques, you just play. Okay, backwards, falling back, roll. Come back up, crawl. Okay, change directions, and so on and so forth. All right, okay. I've come to the end, right, of the movement segment. Now it's Q&A time. Okay, if you need to, have some water, please, rest, and let's go through a meaningful discussion, hopefully. Yeah. Okay. Is parkour suitable for ladies who are osteoporotic? Okay. So, I think science has proven that movement in general helps you build stronger bones. Okay, and like I mentioned just now, those people the astronauts who go to space and they are in a zero gravity environment, they lose not just their bone density, but also their muscle mass. And what's important here is that you keep moving on a daily basis. Okay, it doesn't matter what type of movement you do, whether it's other sports, just move. Okay, then the more you stimulate your body with the effects of gravity, okay, the more stress you put on yourself. Okay, I'm going to correct that a little bit. It's not about more. It's about the appropriate amount. If you give yourself or you allow yourself to be stressed to the extent whereby your body is not ready for that stress, you're going to injure yourself. Okay, and no matter whether you're osteoporotic, you might have a fear of moving. Okay, but the key here is to understand how to give yourself the appropriate challenge or the appropriate stressor. Okay, and this is a very personal journey. I cannot tell you how much exactly, but what's more important is you start that journey of understanding yourself, and that might result in a little bit of bruises and facing your fears, but it is better than living a life whereby you feel hopeless and you just continue deteriorating. Okay, it's better to put yourself out there, face your fears, and feel a little bit more alive in your life. Okay, and just move every day. Okay, I always tell my students when they ask me, "Is this possible? Is that possible? Can I do this if I'm dead?" I tell them, I like to say, as long as you can move, you can practice. Okay, if we can still walk, walk. If we can still move your arm like that, move your arm like that. If you can still look up, look up. If you can still move, just move. Use it or lose it. Okay? How often must we do this to see a result? When I saw my first generation of students who are of a senior age, around 50 years old and so, I tell them 3 months. Okay, 3 months consistently to see results. And thankfully, they've been staying for around 3 years, and they've seen a lot of results. Okay? So being consistent is important, but at the same time, on top of that, learning how to give yourself an appropriate challenge. Not too difficult that it demotivates you to try anything at all. Not too easy that it doesn't even excite you. It has to feel meaningful to you. Okay? And hopefully you find a nice community to be in, a community that is supportive and encourages you and helps you see your blind spots and grow together. Are such movements safe or recommended for people with joint problems like arthritis? Okay, I would say the same for the question about osteoporosis. You see, the human body is full of complexity. Okay? That science has reached a certain extent of explaining how things are, but I just saw my senior student this morning for a private session. And she told me that, she's feeling this pain in her knee. And then the week before, she didn't feel the same pain, but we were doing the exact same things. Okay, pain is a very complex issue. It can come from many factors. And it can come from just a bad day, not having enough sleep, not eating well. It can come from a lot more mental factors than you might think it is. One thing to remember is pain is not an indicator of, it's not purely an indicator of physical injury. You might feel pain, but it doesn't necessarily correlate to physical injury. And this comes from the most recent pain science research. So take it easy, one step at a time. Do things that you feel comfortable with, but keep moving, no matter what condition you have. For someone who climbs, how to fall safely with parkour principles? Or maybe, how can you use safe falling principles in your daily life? Okay. So, if you climb up, you're going to have to also come down, right? Unless you climb up and you don't come down. When I mentioned something about gentle movement just now, I said a lot of times, move gently, move softly, because you're using your muscle strength to take your weight instead of your bones. Okay? If you hit your elbows on the ground or you hit your knees on the ground, it's going to hurt a lot more than if you were to use your hands, use your feet, and absorb your impact. So, I guess, learn how to be gentle with yourself. Okay? That's one core principle of parkour, gentle movement. Many of your falling skills require hands to support. What if we have wrist problems? Great. Okay. So just now we had an exercise that we went down to the floor without using your hands, right? There are some people in the world who is handicapped, has only one leg, but is still practicing parkour. Okay, the idea behind parkour is adaptability. Okay, no matter what you have, just keep using it. Okay, even if you have one wrist problem, use your other side. Get your other side stronger, and don't give up on the wrist that is weak. Okay, just spend more time to strengthen that wrist as well. Okay, you can strengthen it by doing things that does not give you a sharp pain in your body. Okay, it's the movement of parkour depending on the strength of one leg and hand. Any tips to strengthen legs and hand? Okay, the movement of parkour depends on your whole body basically, because we pretty much use our whole body to move around. Okay, to navigate the environment, not just one side or other side. A lot of my students like to ask me this: which muscle group do you use? And usually I would say there are a lot of muscle groups working. There are a lot of things that are going on. Or I will ask them a question. I'll ask them back, why not you tell me what do you feel? And yeah, like I said, it's very difficult to explain or pinpoint exactly what is going on in the body. And every sensation is quite subjective. But of course, if I ask all of you to squeeze your hand like this, you can tell me, oh, we're all squeezing our hand. It's more objective. And you probably feel a certain fatigue around here. And that's fine. So I guess the idea here is have more discussion with your peers, okay? Or rather explore more on yourself. Take more time to explore your body and to feel what's going on in your body. And don't just rely on theory, okay? Try to delve deeper in application, which is understanding your body through moving your body. Where can I find more about this training? So I'm from Move Academy Singapore. I'll say that one more time, Move Academy Singapore. And you can go to the website, our website, moveacademy.sg, and you can find our details there. And you can just drop an email or you can read about us on the website. Okay? All right, cool. That's all. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope nobody got hurt today. And yeah, hopefully we'll talk again. Thank you.